how a relationship in a couple should work. The man is helping the woman. So as you probably know, I don't know, there is some task, repetition of tasks in the Lubal society and in Congolese society. So, for example, carrying the water is imparted to the woman. And for Muntu, it was important to understand that, of course, it's the prerogative of the woman, but the guy has to help the woman. And now I want to talk a little bit of Muntu as a universal painter. As I told you, of course, he's from DRC, but he's influenced by a lot of things from around the world. And I think that we have talked about some connection with Pink or Keats Haring, but there is some other connection, and I want to just to surprise you a little bit with that one. It's Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso, of course, was inspired a lot by Congolese artists and other African artists in his painting. And by his work, he inspired a lot of Europeans, and a lot of Europeans went to Africa with the idea to meet the African artists, as Pierre-Romain de Fossé. So the first inspiration for Pierre-Romain de Fossé is to go in Africa after a show, after seeing some Gelatendos, some Picasso work, and he went there and teach art to them, and then they teach to other people. So I think it's important to understand that in Congo the connection was universal, way before what we think was the connection. So at the beginning some people influenced Picasso influenced other people. So it was just going back and forth every time, and that's the interesting part of it. Here we have an interesting painting of, it's a portrait of an European. And the European has a table chair and is so always focused on the mask. As Muntu was not really interested in mask, for him it was the European who was interested in masks. And as Pablo Picasso was interested in masks, he has a lot of masks. And I was talking about procession. You see some Muntu procession and there is some Picasso procession. I think Picasso copied a lot of Africa work, and Muntu was in Africa art, and the procession is a part of Africa, the way of repeating some shapes. And it's interesting to put those in between and trying to understand the relationship and the gap that was in those two artists. So, as I told you, for me, Muntu is an artist in a time very important in Congo. He's a witness of his time, and he tried to write a little bit of the Congolese history, and he was also trying to paint a future of the Congo. So here we have Kalalaiunga, it's the past of the history, of course, and he was a witness of his presence. Like those traditional dance, when you see his painting, it's very close of what was happening. He was a witness with all his emotion, and he was also, and that's the interesting part of his story, he was a visionary. And for example, this painting he was painting, it's the, in French it's the lasso. Lasso is when you put a dead body in a white curtain drop. I don't know the word. Sheet, yes. Oh, sheet. Shroud. Okay, great. So when he was painting this picture, he was crying a lot. And the interesting part of it is that he died 4 days after doing that and crying a lot. He never finished his death. He puts his death in picture, and it was not. He died suddenly without any purpose. It was a surprise. So that's the end of the work of Muntu. That's the last picture of Muntu, and I think it tells a lot of what will be his painting, because today it's totally natural to understand and to see his painting, but you have to figure out he started in the 50s. In the 50s there was no kids earrings, there was no pink. It was difficult to understand what was his painting, so he was a little bit discreet for those time because it was too old, and people coming in Africa to buy art didn't want that kind of art because it was not what they expected. He stayed like really focused on what he was doing because he wanted to tell something that was very important for him. He wanted to tell what is his life, what is the life of all the people connected to him, what was intriguing for him, like the dance, because he didn't know everything about the traditional, he just knew a little bit, and he wanted to put it in his painting. So that's it. Have you ever understood everything?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Thank you. Pause.
To pause it?
Yeah.
Um,
Because it's still working. We need to connect to